like that. I mean, if you were to ask me, and this is a bonus if you like, if you're going to say, hey, Rob, what would be the top, 5 things you would say to people not to do that would prevent muscle gains? Number 1 on my list would be the phone. And you know what? Yeah, absolutely, man. And that's something in today's age, because I know you're a young guy. Today's world that we live in, just like you and I both now, I'm talking to you off my mobile, my phone. Yeah. And, I do have my phone when I go in the gym, but I really, really try to take as minimal time to be on there at all. If I'm going to be on my phone, the only thing I'm going to do is skip my track because I don't like the music that's on right now. That's the only thing I'm going to do with it. Because one of my beliefs is that the muscle-mind connection, which everyone talks about so much, it can really be achieved, and it's a great thing. And when you're there, like I said, you're in that spiritual zen with you, your muscle, and your mind. And the one thing that can really take you out of that in an instant is a cell phone.
Absolutely.
And I believe that once you do that, you better be an extremely professional guy and know how to get back in that zen, that muscle mind contraction, because once you come out of it, and you lose that focus with whatever's going on social media wise on your phone or anything like that, your workout's done. You might as well just leave the gym. So I see a lot of guys in the gym and they're on their phone, and it's like, well, if you're here to be social and you just feel good being here, that's fine. But one of the major distractions I feel today that takes away from anything that you want to achieve is really the element of social media on a phone. It messes with everything. But that's something we can go into another time.
No, I love that. And I think too, just that I think a lot of people think, well, if it's between sets, I'm not wasting time or whatever, then it's not a big deal. But I love what you said, that it's pulling. That's
a very sort of amateur approach when you want. It depends on your goal as well. If you're there to just feel good, get blood circulating, that's okay. But it, again, depends on who's watching this and what you want out of it. If you're really wanting top results and everything else, you cannot break that sort of energy that you have, and a mobile phone will boom do it in an instant.
Oh, that's awesome. That is something that I will definitely better implement. That is a huge tip, and I love what you said. That's an amateur way to go about it, to be on your phone. But if you want to be at the next level, you got to focus in. That's cool. Kind of the next part, I guess what I hope for everyone to get out of this is, I just wanted to ask you to share, 2 or 3 of your top secrets or tips for putting on muscle. What, maybe someone who's looking to bulk at this point as their goals, what would be, at least what's your first kind of main tip for helping them to bulk up or to put on muscle?
Okay, so to put on muscle, it's, in my honest opinion, it's really not too difficult. And the secret, which everyone wants to know a secret, you know what I mean? The secret would be total consistency. And consistency doesn't mean, hey, I'm going to stick to this for like a day, a week, a month. It takes so much time. You know what I'm saying? Anything we grow in life doesn't happen immediately. And when you're talking about growing the human body with all the demands that go on in today's world, it's really, really hard. So that part is the hardest part. But essentially, the secret that everybody always wants to know is consistency. And I think anyone across the board on a pro level would agree with me. You need to be at the top of your level, at your game, and keep that as consistent as you can. And, that's just an outline. But if for me to go into specifics, like training volumes and stuff like that, that's really, really important. I think you really need to break down the muscle tissue in the gym. And, training in the gym, a lot of people put so much emphasis on, hey, I've got to get my training right. You absolutely do. It's really, really crucial that when you're in the gym, you have to optimize that time. And failure is something that people, a lot of guys, these social media fitness people, they talk about training to failure and stuff like that. It's really important that you do train to failure, and not only training to failure, but I'm all about longevity where I am now. And I would love to be that guy who changes the minds of younger people, because when I was 20, do you mind, how old are you? Do you mind me asking?
Yeah, I'm 21. So
I hate you already, man. Me and you, I just don't. No, I'm just kidding. Well, I'm 39, right? So I got quite a few years on you right now. But I'll tell you how it is, because honestly, I remember when I was 21, 22, and it really doesn't feel like that long ago. You know what I mean? Yeah. I remember those days. I remember when I was training, and when you're at your age, you know, you are bulletproof, man. You really are. You're at the point now where your body can bounce back. You know what I mean? If you tear muscle tissue apart, you will heal. Just because you're so young, you're so fresh, all your hormones and everything else you got everything going for you. Yeah. So one of the things that I would love to give to all the viewers is really sort of change the way you look at it and train for longevity, you know what I mean? Because if you can change the way that you think about gaining muscle and everything else, you will be able to do this so much longer. And what I mean by that is that when I was 21, one of the things I loved to do, I was a pretty strong guy even at that age, lifetime natural, you know, I would have no problem putting 405 on a bench press and just repping that thing out. And that would be my favorite thing to do, because there would be people in we had a chest room. And, you know, they'd all be benching like 225, maybe 315, and they'd be doing all these little reps, you know what I mean? Just to say, hey, I did it and stuff like that. Yeah. And then my thing that I would love to do is just go in the middle bench, plate, 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 plate. And so I had 415 on there, and I would rep. That thing, and I'd love the attention. And I mean, I get it. It's really good. But what I know now is that I had so many of my friends who used to do that with me, and they're no longer able to do that or even train at all, because they would blow pecs, they would tear biceps. Injury is a Russian roulette, and it's imminent. Yeah. So training to failure, you have to train to failure. You've really got to, in order to change the body, you've got to do something pretty dramatic. And to achieve that failure, you have to do it. But just be smart. Yeah. Today, there are so many techniques that you can use to utilize failure or to get into failure without damaging tendons, ligaments, and everything else, and putting the maximum amount of load and tension on the muscle. So really, really think about your training. Everybody loves to lift heavy, but just be mindful, because when you do lift heavy, it's one frequency of 1,000 to get to the same point. So just be mindful of that. That's the first thing that I'm going to put out to guys, because bodybuilding and just, you know, doing what we do is not something that you get a 5-year lifespan and then it's like, hey man, you know, I had shoulder surgery, now I've gone back to stage 1. You really want to continue this, you know what I mean, into your 30s and 40s and 50s and whatever else, you know, you want to do this for as long as you can. Secondly, you know, like I said, when you're doing something really dramatic and pushing, you have to push your body through a boundary, and you've got to be comfortable with discomfort. Okay. It's really hard for you and I to, over the phone, to define what failure is. Everybody in their own, you know, I can speak to someone and they have their own mindset what failure is. Yeah. One of the things that I love to do is I love to hit. I get really unhappy unless I hit failure. Number one. You know, be happy with failure, because just like anything in the world, if you don't fail, you don't grow. It's just the same as bodybuilding. You know what I mean? When I hit a failure, I'm not stopping there. I don't really like spotting. Like I said, I train on my own. But when for example, I'll do this so you can see it. You know, I'm hitting like 3 reps and I'm going with whatever weight I can. Eventually, you've got to be in total control of your body. Chain of command. Always be in chain of command of your body. That's so important, so you don't injure yourself. You're only controlling the muscle that you work in. But eventually, you're only going to be able to get to there, because that's my brick wall. I can't get to there because I've hit a point of failure. So now all my energy is focusing on being in control of my body, because at this point, secondary muscles will kick in. You don't want that. You're still trying to work the shoulder, which is the primary muscle. So now I'm just trying to go and I'm trying to fight past that wall. I'm constantly going until I have nothing. I'm just moving. I'm at failure there. Yeah. So work with failure. Don't hit failure and stop, because like I said, you got to do whatever you can to go past that. And, you know, when we talk about that, that's really intense, especially if you're doing that with every set, every exercise, every rep. It's really hard on the body. So then my second my second go-to would be nutrition. And, you know, that's something, again, I think that people slack on because they think that if they put all the emphasis of training like a lion in the gym and they can go home and just do whatever they want, results are going to happen, but it doesn't work that way. You know, once you train to that, once you elevate your game and you train at that level, you're going to have to increase the level of your nutrition. And I only have one kidney. I had a kidney out when I was 8 years old. So that doesn't mean having 1,000 grams of protein a day, because, you know, that's going to have repercussions of health further down the line. But what it does mean is you do need to have consistency, and consistency is hard, again, because like I said earlier on, life happens, you know what I'm saying? And that's where you've really just got to prepare everything so that you're ready. So when these things happen in life, like you got to, I don't know, go pay your car tax, go shopping or whatever, not your meals are there. You take them with you. You're not skipping meals. You're constantly in an anabolic state because you are having your nutrition.
Absolutely.
So just being prepared, you know, prepare to win is my second there.
I love that.
No, you go ahead.
That's something my dad always talked to us about, especially when we were originally trying to put on weight. I was like 108 pounds as a freshman, so it was hard for me to put on weight, but just that, you know, everyone wants to go in the gym, everyone wants to, you know, hit the weights, and that's sometimes almost easier or more exciting because you feel like you're doing something. But to go into the kitchen, prepare a bunch of meals and get that food and make sure you're eating it is sometimes the unglamorous or unexciting part, but is just, like you said, so vital to.
And, you know, I'll just share with you, you know, there are some times, especially when I'm contest prepping, you know, I cycle, I do carb cycling. So usually, you know, I'll have like 3 to 4 or 5, maybe low days, and then I'll have my high days. And then when I'm doing my high days, sometimes, you know, for example, like I'm a firefighter. So if I have a busy morning and then all of a sudden I'm backlogged with all my food, that's just a scenario. So I've got to eat all this food, and it has to go down. Like I say, I got to hit a goal. And, you know, I feel sick about that, you know, so that's very normal that when you're in this game and you're trying to put on muscle, sometimes you got to be, you know, you have to push yourself even to eat more food than usual. And I remember there were times where I'd watch YouTube videos of just bodybuilders prepping and eating foods, and it would just make me hungry, you know what I'm saying? So it's crazy how that works. So that's just a mindset that you just got to put yourself in. And you again, it's not only have you got to be slightly uncomfortable in the gym, you become uncomfortable outside the gym as well. You know, you're transforming the human body from what is a state of regularity, what you are, and you want to elevate that. So you've got to elevate your game. It's just as simple as that. Yeah.
Sometimes you're gonna have to eat when you're not hungry, for sure.
Yes, you are. Yeah.
I love that. I love what you said too. It's not just pushing your body inside the gym, but outside the gym as well. And so of that. So first you said, you know, consistently training to failure, having your nutrition, and I think too the way you said being prepared with your nutrition so that there isn't those excuses later. And I guess what would be your third tip or secret to putting on muscle for those?
You know, I feel like getting deep with you guys, you know, so my third one is really, you know, I don't think a lot of people really talk about it, but it's mindset. Mindset is so powerful. And, you know, I think in today's era, especially because it's really easy for you to just bump on your phone and say, hey, what routine do I use to put on muscle weight? What nutrition do I, you know, you're going to have a search engine that's going to deliver you like 20 nutrition plans, 20 training programs. And, you know, obviously you can't just devise a training program that doesn't make sense. You have to have something that is planned out from A to Z, and it works, right? But I think the problem in today is that people really just don't believe in what they're doing is going to make a difference. And one of the things that like I said, I spoke to you when I said that when I'm in the gym, I'm very spiritual. It's a total spiritual thing for me. I will train with someone, but it's once in a while. But I really like connecting with myself. You know what I mean? You really get to know yourself on a lot of levels. And when I'm training, I can't tell you like every exercise that I do in my mind is so reinforced that every set, every rep, and every range of movement and every failure that I hit is going to lead me into success in transforming my body like a fraction of a margin. So I just keep doing that. And, you know, it's easy to doubt what you're doing. And you know what I mean? You have to reinforce yourself and believe that everything that you're doing is going to make the difference. And I think having that mentality and that inner belief, you'll subconsciously make the right decisions to get to the path you want to be. I've done it multiple times where it's like, okay, I need to trim down and be really focused and lean out for whatever I'm trying to do. And I really believe it. And I just make right decisions left, right, and center because that's my focus. And you just really got to be in it. You know, you've really got to be strong and believe that your routine is working. And I see so many guys, you know, that really don't maybe believe in what they're doing, and they'll switch over to something else. And then
get the results.
Yeah, I mean, they're not getting the results because they're not giving it the time to work. Yeah. And like we said earlier on, you are growing the human body, and it's really not going to happen overnight for you at all. It's really, really, really small steps often that are going to make big leaps. And just really believe in that is extremely powerful to have that mindset. Mindset is everything. It's everything we do in life if you want to be successful. So I think, you know, people are all about, hey, let's go train the body. Let's go, you know, eat all the food. But I think before you even do that, you've really got to train the mind to really believe and understand and know that what you're going to do is going to make the difference. And I've had that mentality for a long, long time.
That's huge. I think that's something that you don't hear often as well. That, you know, for someone, you're right, like you said, you can Google how to put on muscle and you'll find hundreds of training programs, hundreds of nutrition programs, but not a lot of people talking about the mental aspect. Just for those that maybe, are you still there? Can you hear me?
Yeah,
sorry, I cut for a second. But so just for anyone out there that, and even myself, who maybe hasn't made that as big of a focus in their training, the mentality part, is there any sort of like thing that you do to get yourself into the right mindset when you're going into the gym or at the start of your day? Is there some sort of routine or habit that you have to help with that?
Yeah, absolutely. Just for training purposes, I mean, when I get to a gym, when I'm driving to a gym is really important for me. Because I'm a guy, I never really have a fixed training program. Everything's on the fly. Maybe I'll have a few exercises because, you know, everyone's specific. You might want to work on the outer chest. I might want to work on the inner chest. So I'm already in my mind selecting exercises that are going to be beneficial for my frame. I'm picking out one or two things there. So this is all happening on my drive to the gym, or maybe even an hour and a half before I even go to my car and drive to the gym. I'm getting my mind, I'm setting my mind to do the work that it's going to do. Especially on a leg day, you know, leg day, it can be hit or miss. You really got to give everything you got. But that approach to me is the same for everything. So on my way to the gym, I'm really thinking of the key points. Which exercises am I really going to home in to boost my physique? And then I'm really focusing on how it's going to feel. The kind of, I say the pains, you know, the contractions and everything else. I'm really focusing on that. When I get to the gym, I'll usually sit down in a corner, or I'll walk around and I'll say hi to everyone that I need to. And then, you know, I'll sit down and I'll start putting my earphones on, and I'm just thinking about my workout. I'm just constantly thinking and visualizing it. And that's really important. Just like an athlete, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sure you played sports and all that kind of stuff. If you're doing a long jump or high jump or something like that, I'm pretty sure that even before you do that, you're visualizing every single step, every single thing that you need to do to accomplish your best movement. There's nothing different than going in a gym. You know, again, there are so many levels today that I see of people that kind of want it, people that say they want it, and then people that really want it. And what we're talking about is really just the conditioning of the mind, because really nothing really happens unless your mind is conditioned and ready to go. You can do everything physically and not really be there, but unless your mind is on point and really focused, nothing's really going to happen. So I'm just meditating and getting into the zone of I'm preparing my body mentally for what I'm about to do. And I think it's really important to have that. You know, if you really want to be the best, and, you know, like I say, I competed in INBA, PNBA, Natural Olympia. The guys there, you know, they may not be as big as me. They may not be as tall as me. but they're all freaks. You know, they're all at the top of their game. So every single workout for me has to be the best, and I can't have anything less. So, you know, and any one of these guys watching right now, you know, you don't have to be competing in the Olympia or anything else, but if you really want results, you got to really have a talk with yourself and understand that it's not, well, yeah, I'll kind of do this, I'll kind of do that. It's all in or nothing. That's just the way it is. That's the game of bodybuilding. And, you know, people have given me a hard time through my years and say, hey, I'm enhanced, I'm this, I'm that. But it really boils down to my absolute dedication and commitment to what I want to do. And, you know, and now when people say that to me, I take it as the utmost compliment. You know what I mean? These guys are saying that I look that good that, you know, they think I'm totally enhanced. But the reality is that, you know, I'm just on my game and I'm just doing the best that I can do every single day.
I love that. And I think too, that's an awesome tip, even thinking about myself rather than just hurrying into the gym and getting into a set, but to take the time to, you know, say, okay, now I'm in the gym. Focus, what am I doing today and what am I going to be working on? That's awesome. No, thank you, Robin. I guess a bonus that I personally kind of want, you mentioned a few times, you're plugged in the gym, you have your headphones going. What's maybe your top, you know, 2 or 3 songs or type of music that gets you kind of in the zone when you're in the gym?
For me, it can be a multitude of things. I really, I like my electronic dance music sometimes. It depends on my feel. But a lot of the times I really like motivational speaking. I like that kind of stuff with maybe like powerful music behind that. That really gets me amped up. It gets me, I train, my preferred time to train would be anywhere from 5 in the morning. So sometimes I get up at like 4:15 and I'm in the gym by 5 a.m. So that kind of sets my mind. So I'm doing 2 things at the same time. Like I said, I'm conditioning and focusing in my mind continuously and reinforcing that with positive thoughts and everything else. At the same time, then I'm crushing my goals and doing everything with my body. So it kind of just sets my day up there. So that, or, you know, it just depends. Some days, you know, I'll rock out with some rock music or whatever. So it's whatever it is that day. But the one thing is, I know exactly what it is going to be before I get there. So I'll tell you that.
I love that. That's cool. Not just scrolling through once you get there to figure it out. That's awesome. No, thank you so much, Rob. Just to hear your wisdom, your focuses at how you train and everything, it's inspiring to me, and I'm sure to everyone else who will be watching. So thanks.
I look forward to it, man. Thank you. So one day we'll have to get a workout together for sure in that cool ass facility that you guys have. That would be awesome.
You down to the locker. One other thing, just for those who are watching, where can they follow you, connect with you more? What's kind of like your Instagram handles and all of that?
Yeah, so you can send me. I'd love, you know, I absolutely love answering questions or whatever I need. You know, people can contact me. Official Rob Terry on Instagram. I'm on Twitter. That's Impact Rob Terry. Facebook is my name. Contact me that. If you guys have any questions, I would love to answer them and help you guys and guide you and just help you achieve your goals. So
absolutely. You're the man. Thank you so much, Rob. We really just appreciate you coming on and taking the time out of your day and your busy training and everything to help us and give us some tips over here.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys very much.
Awesome. Thanks, Rob. We'll see you.
Take it easy. Have a good one.